Welcome, Vault Dwellers. My name is Nacho Bidness, and this is episode 16 of my Fallout 4 No Loot Challenge Run. The rules, in short, are that I am not allowed to use the A button on Xbox here to pick up anything out in the world, or to take anything out of a container or off of a corpse and put it into my inventory. The notable exception are crops. I am playing on survival mode, and I need something to barter for the junk that I need in order to play the game, and I also need something to eat. Last episode, we ended up kind of deep in Boston, and I wanted to turn in some quests at Goodneighbor. However, my character was injured, and we were low on stim packs, and I thought that it was probably better to take the safe route back to Hangman's Alley and drop a save. And I figured while I was there, I could maybe make a run over to Overland Station and grab some crops. And that is where we are today. I am currently over encumbered. We're going to have to fix that pretty quick before I die, but I just wanted to show you that I am got 95 food here. I am getting close to my goal of having enough food at Overland Station that I can completely fill my character's inventory and my companion's inventory for a run back to Hangman's Alley to sell things off, to get caps, to get more junk. And McCready is currently full, and that brings up something that we're going to have to sleep before we can even go back to Hangman's Alley. McCready's inventory is currently full because he has been looting on the side without me telling him to. And I had thought about taking these items and selling them, but that kind of feels like looting by proxy. And so far, I have not done that, with a very notable exception. So we're going to take that combat shotgun and the combat rifle that he had and just put those in this workshop here. Maybe one of the settlers would like to use one of those weapons. As for that notable exception that I mentioned, last episode, McCready looted a quest item for me at my command. And I was doing it mainly as an experiment. I did not actually expect that to work. McCready, I really need you to stop pumping water and take some inventory before I die. Although it turns out my health is going up from him pumping. That's strange. Learn something new about Fallout just about every time I play. Anyway, so he looted a quest item at my command. Now, I had Piper do that in another episode previously, and I threw that quest item away. That was a generic thing, and the experiment was important with Piper and with McCready.
Oh, you shouldn't.
But I don't know. I'm kind of regretting taking advantage of that in the last episode, but unfortunately at this point I can't go back. Survival mode only allows you to have 3 saves total, and so if I was to try and go back at this point, I would I can't. So that is regrettable, but after all, this run was technically a fail in episode 1 because, after all, I had to pick up the Pip-Boy in the vault. So I have elected to continue the run, but we're not going to do that again unless there is a main quest item that I can get a companion to pick up. And that is almost going to be a certainty that there will be a quest item from a plot mission that I need. Whether or not the companion will pick up that item is another question. I have had companions refuse to pick up quest items before that were marked quest items. Like the one that Piper picked up was just a generic plant out in the world. It was not a marked quest item. The one McCready picked up was a marked quest item. But if you recall on the episode where we abandoned Paladin Dance in ArcJet, Codsworth, I think it was, at the time that we had with us, refused to pick up a deep range transmitter, and that meant that we just abandoned Dance in ArcJet. So it remains to be seen what happens when we get to Kellogg, especially. I also think that we may be in trouble when it comes to faction quests, because there are faction quests that are part of the main story that you have to pick up items for. I'm still actually kind of hoping that I might be able to try and go for the trifecta ending. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, I don't know what anyone else calls it, but there is an ending in this game where the Brotherhood and the Railroad and the Minutemen all coexist in kind of an uneasy peace after the Institute is destroyed. It's not one that a lot of people have seen. I stumbled across it in my first playthrough just by way of I was trying to experience as much as I could, and whenever I got to a point in a faction quest where continuing would lock me out of other factions, I stopped and started questing with those other factions and just found that trifecta ending naturally. And as I said, I am kind of hoping to show that off, but it remains to be seen whether or not that is going to be possible. So, yeah, a very regrettable incident last episode, and yet I am not that regretful about it, because it shows me that there's at least some hope of completing the main quests without violating my rule set. At any rate, I have some crops to pick, and then we're going to head on to Goodneighbor, but we're going to make a pit stop along the way. And I will come back and show you what I mean when we get there. So here we are at Boston Public Library. I figured that since I have a couple of quests that involve the library, I could do those on my way to Goodneighbor. But I'm not going to go in the way most people usually do and pass the easy speech check for the intercom. Instead, I am going to go through the station here. One, just because I never do it this way, I'm kind of curious what it's going to be like. And two, because I need experience points, and one way to do that is by killing a boatload of super mutants. Let's start out by grabbing Old Faithful here, just so that we can take advantage of the instigating effect and see if we can't get this guy in one shot. Yes, we can. The extra 50% we would get for silenced for Mr. Sandman is not in play with Old Faithful, but I think the instigating effect kind of makes up for that. So we're just going to kind of do the usual thing. We're slow and carefully clear the rooms, make sure that we don't have any super mutants come in behind us, and well, that is almost as horrifying as the bathroom in my fraternity house when I was in college. Let's see here. We're going to have to go down these stairs, I guess, to find our way into the library. And I see somebody else there. There is a suicider. Let's just shoot him and make sure he's good and dead. And we're only in caution, which is great. Here comes another super mutant to say hello. Actually, since he's a basic, we'll just take a body shot instead of risking the headshots. And Hound, here comes Hound. Fortunately, his head is big and fat. He can kill me in one shot if he gets to me. So after this, I think we're going to just back off a little bit and see if we can't get back to caution. Just kind of hide over here in the shadows.
What? Scared already?
So, yeah, I regret not being able to be a little bit sneakier with Old Faithful, but being able to one-shot those other guys was a big deal. And not being able to one-shot this guy is another big deal. Let's see if we can't get a rifle shot on him. Okay. If I hadn't been quite so panicked, I probably would have just elected to maybe go for a go for some pistol shots, but I was looking for a functioning water fountain or something around here to maybe top up some hit points, and I don't see anything. Actually, already had to use a stim pack on my way here because I ran into some dogs and one of them broke my leg. And although I actually don't mind the broken leg all that much with this playstyle, I think my movement speed being completely borked for the entire rest of the episode would have maybe not been good for the viewer. I don't know. Still, nothing over here. And I think we are fairly close to the library entrance. Yes, that's it. Right up there. And so let's get Old Faithful back out. And usually when we come at this from the other way, and I am not sure what it's going to be like trying to advance lock. Well, you know what? I have always opened these doors from the other direction, and that meant that whenever I went to go back, they weren't locked. So I guess we're going to do this speech check after all. So let's see if we can convince her that we're an employee.
Yes, right. My ID number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Welcome, Mr. Mayor. Please enjoy your visit.
Oh, the combination is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what some idiot would have on his luggage. Sir, we've got the combination. What is it? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, that's what's on my luggage. If you recognize the reference, good for you. An extra 5 Nacho points. I wonder if this is something that we can... Alright, getting the 1, got all of them. And I don't see any live mutants yet, which is fine with me. Are there any turrets that want to try and shoot me? No, the turrets are friendly. That's also fine with me. So I guess the only way maybe that the super mutant assault really gets triggered is if you go in that back room over at the other end of the library where the intelligence bobblehead is at. Fascinating. Anyway, let's go ahead and return the overdue book. So, yes, I would like to return my all one overdue books, which I probably am just not going to get anymore. I don't know. I suppose maybe it's possible that there's some books that are in vendor inventories. I've just never looked for them, and I don't think that there is anything that is worth trying to get out of the system there. Let's just crack this terminal for points. Alright, turret unlocked, and it's turret control and protectron control. I am gonna leave these alone because they're friendly and they will attack the super mutants when the super mutants do decide to show up. And we have a couple other objectives here. I hope we don't have to pick anything up.
Protect and serve.
Let's see here. Oh no, Project Snow reboot program. Son of a gun. Shoot, is there anything we can do maybe with this librarian terminal too? A whole bunch of lore, but yeah, without being able to pick up the holotape, this very interesting puzzle is probably just not going to be anything I can do. And what do you know? Here is a perk check that this content creator put in for Creation Club, and good for them. In fact, are we going to be able to pass this with a perk? Oh, bless you, Creation Club guy. Oh, shoot. Well, 2, 3, 5, 7. But do I still have to use the holotape on this? Let's see if we can find Terminal 2. So now what? Run the program. Doggone it. Maybe they'll do another perk check that we can. Okay. I'm surprised, but let's see. So, signal found at Galaxy News Network. So, okay, we have our next objective. I think it said that it was looking at on the map. What does our actual quest say here? Still says investigate the library. But it also said something about Galaxy News being added to our map, but I don't see that. It's down here and I don't see it. Oh, shoot. Well, maybe we can jumpstart this when we eventually get down to that part of the map to see if we could possibly advance that any further. That is this. Boy, what a roller coaster that was. Of thinking there was no way I could go further, and then finding out there was a perk check, or actually a stat check, and then Finding out that no, I still had to pick up that doggone holotape. And
Protect and
after last episode and the start of this episode, I've already said that I was just not going to do that anymore unless it was a main quest item. So I guess that leaves us with trying to figure out what to do with the rest of this one for Daisy. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off so we don't have any kind of extraneous markers. We have just now been told that we just need to explore the library. Which means I am guessing that we have no choice but to trigger this super mutant ambush. Why don't we just go ahead and get ourselves kind of set up to ambush the ambushers. Actually, let's take the sniper rifle with the silencer for now. And maybe just put some mines down. Only got 4 because I just like to have some available for some carry weight available for crops, but we will use them judiciously. I'm pretty sure that there'll be mutants coming through these areas, so just get them all tossed down and then switch back to the Molotovs. I probably won't be using those against the mutants, but you just never know. And since we're hungry, before we go into combat, we'll just have a little snack. And interesting, this door is usually chained on the other side. They have moved the chain, I think, based on where I came into the library. Fascinating.
protect and serve.
So, how deep do we have to go? Are they ready to attack yet? Is it when I open this door?
Attention! Security!
Yep, it's when I open the door.
Visitors and employees are...
So there's the good old intelligence bobblehead.
Detected.
You have to say goodbye to that, but
Yourself.
it's alright. That's what we signed up for with this. No, we run. Alright. Robots and the turrets can oftentimes do a pretty good job against these super mutants, but we'll just kind of see if we can push up a little bit and get some sneak shots on them. There's a hound that frankly is going to just get taken care of by all of the automated defenses. So see if we can step on that. We step on that. Of course, letting the robots do everything for me does mean that I don't get experience points, and I am after experience points, so we will go ahead and start trying to get shots on these guys, get our fair share of damage in, so that we get some experience. And there we go. And now that sneak is broken, let's get out Overseer's Guardian. And McCready is at it again. And interesting, his inventory is full, so he really shouldn't be able to pick that up and run around with it unencumbered, but looks like that is just what he has decided to do. Alright. Well, since we are allowed a slightly different route through here this time, let's just try that. see what happens if we go this way instead of through the halls around the other side. And see if this fight is any easier. At a minimum, we got guys that want to stand out and let me shoot at him. There's a legendary Brut over there. That is worrying. Now he seems to run up the hallway, so what if we... Yep, he sure did. And what if I try some manual shots? I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit him through that window or not. I'd like to get the experience points for killing him, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get to him before the robots. They're doing unusually well this time. I am not used to the robots and turrets being this effective. And is there anybody else? Since we're back to hidden, let's go back to... Yep, it is not fair. I agree. Because I get the 3.5 multiplier with this gun when I shoot you. Although he is full health, he is full health, he is full health. But you know what? I think that frankly the silent shot from this is going to be better than the old faithful instigating shot. Nice. Nice.
Neutralized. Visitors
Making it
now
look
coming, going,
easy.
please. All employees, please return to work.
So that's it. We are going to be able to go back to Goodneighbor, and gosh, is there anything else we could do with this? I don't think so. It is so very tempting to see if McCready would pick up that holotape, but I just, yeah, like I said, it felt kind of scummy last time, and yeah, nothing more we can do there. Alright, well, let's go ahead and head on over to Goodneighbor. Don't need to bore you with that walk over there, so I will join you again and hit record again once we're there, and I am not somehow managing to lose myself in the bowels of the library here. Well, we finally made it back to Goodneighbor, and on the way, I noticed that I was passing almost directly past Huber's Comics, which I would very much like to go in there and get the Silver Shroud costume, but I can't do that, so I passed it by. And I also was directly next to a Creation Club player home called the New Cafe Ola, and of course, when we got there, it was locked. There was a key that you were supposed to get. There was a note outside that said, hey, I went to the Prost Bar on a run, and so I went to the Prost Bar hoping that maybe that character would still be alive, would let us into the home without looting a key. No, to the surprise of, I'm sure, no one, I am not going to be able to complete that quest because it is requiring me to pick up a key that I can't pick up. And maybe McCready would have been able to do it for me. I don't know. I didn't try. Anyway, if you're not familiar, the Prost Bar is a location in the base game, and it is the Easter egg for the Cheers sitcom from the 1980s. And it is worth visiting. There's a lot of things in there that are very reminiscent of the show.
You bet.
However,
How'd it go with the library?
more importantly, we've got to report into Daisy, and before we do, I want to put on my fancy new hat because I really do want to try and get to level 39 and get Gunrunners, or Gun Nut 4, I should say, unlocked. So every little bit of experience that I can get is going to help. And also, since we're thirsty and I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and drink a little water. I need to try and pick up some bottles at the next opportunity.
Hey, Daisy.
Hello, Daisy.
Job yet? Boston Public Library.
Yes. The library is very clear of those mutants, but what's this about these library credits?
Oh, right. I remember that. They used to pay kids to round up the old library. Guess if you found more books, you'll get more credit.
You know what I just remembered? I think that there is a magazine that you can get.
It sounds like you finished the job. Thanks for your
It might be the only the second magazine that I am able to obtain in the entire game. I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that. I'm going to start buying overdue books if I see them in people's inventories.
Make the library a safer place.
Meanwhile, we just got to level 32. That's great. And I would like to see what you might have in your inventory immediately after I go and put my charisma gear on, because I just used up all my mines and I'm running a little low on 50 caliber ammo, and I did say I needed some bottles. I also would like to work on trying to clear out my inventory a little bit, because I'm carrying two extremely heavy sniper rifles that are kind of overlapping in their purpose. I would like to try and see what I can do about trying to maybe get the other stuff that I'm carrying down a little bit. So if I got all my charisma gear on, am I at charisma 10? Yes, I am. McCready, my friend.
What's up?
First things first, let's get all those vegetables out of your inventory. And second, we're going to take your ammo away, and we're going to take this minigun away. You are not supposed to be looting. We are not looters, McCready. If you're going to be working for me, you need to follow my rules. So we're just going to throw these on the ground here, and if somebody in Goodneighbor wants to pick them up, it's their lucky day, but this is not our property.
Don't be shy now.
Daisy, I need you to buy some vegetables for me, and I am hoping that you might have
Bit of it.
some other good stuff that we can get in their place. So, no frag mines, which is too bad. I don't really care for the cryo mines. And still had that Hunter's ancient material from last time. But nothing in the weapons that stands out to me. And do we have no combat armor helmet? That would have been nice. I'm interested in the Destroyer's chest piece because it's combat armor and damage from humans is nice, but I really don't think that I'm ready to give up on the extra agility and perception from the Wastelanders. Not until I take some more in my base special. Is there anything else in here that looks good? A couple of things that would be nice if I had the ballistic weave ability yet, but since I don't, nothing in the armor there. You got any? All right. I hate buying just like straight purified water. I'd much rather buy bottles. It's much more economical to buy bottles, but I start to get nervous once I get less than about 6 or 7 purified water. So yeah, and I want to get another stim pack here because I had to use one. I like to maintain an inventory of 3. So we'll go ahead and push the buy button on those. How am I doing on bobby pins? I'm doing okay on bobby pins. And you know what? I haven't looked yet to see. Ooh. Do I know how to make bottle cap mines? I don't know if I know how to make bottle cap mines, but I don't see lunchboxes very often, so I'm going to pick it up and figure out if I know how to make a bottle cap mine later. I know I said I was going to try and reduce my inventory, but I've been doing is buying more, but we'll get there. As for other junk, unless she has some ballistic fiber, I'm probably going to pass on everything here. Oh, or bottles. What do we have? We have a brown bottle, and since I am trying to get my inventory down a little bit, I'm just going to try and stick to some essentials. So, no other bottles. How are we doing for ammo? You got any 50 caliber ammo? You do. We'll take that. And what about my other ammo types? I've got plenty of 45. 10 millimeter you can run through really fast, but I think I'm okay on that, so we'll leave that for now. Now, as far as getting rid of some weight here, I've been lugging this flare gun around forever, and I have tried it a few times off camera. It has never worked. I'm going to get rid of that. I just don't know what that flare gun, if there's ever a point it will be useful. And frankly, every time I've thought about it, it's been off camera, and I have just, I don't ever think to even try it. So since we got rid of the flare gun, let's also get rid of the flare ammo. So 10 caps, not much, but we did get rid of a couple pounds of unneeded weight. You know what? So far, I bought this gas mask, and I have never put it on. And I've got some Radix now. Actually, I think I did put it on a couple times for swimming. But yeah, eventually we're going to be looking for a hazmat suit anyway. So I think that we will go ahead and sell the gas mask. I like the ratty skirt. I think it goes much better with the newsboy cap and the fashionable glasses than the summer shorts. But the summer shorts are potentially the more powerful charisma gear, so we're going to get rid of the ratty skirt. That is my helmet, and those are my perception glasses. And this only weighs 0.3, and it's worth some experience points when we're turning in quests. So I guess there's really nothing else we can get rid of here in apparel. As far as miscellaneous goes, these book return tokens are worth money, but they're weight 0, so we'll keep it. And I think everything else in here is weight 0. So that just leaves us our usual suspects, which are vegetables and jet. So we'll just go ahead. I like to keep a few vegetables around just for when Mary gets hungry. For the most part, I eat the raw vegetables rather than cooked food because these are nice in an emergency for healing, and So I for day-to-day use, just eat the raw vegetables. And let's see. So we don't need that. And I've been hanging on to this ribeye steak in case I, at some point, if I remember correctly, maybe not actually. I thought that was like a strength 1 or maybe a carry weight bump. But perhaps. Oh, doggone it. Well, shoot. I just wasted a bunch of potatoes. Daisy, you cheated me. About Cleo. Cleo, do you have any
Let's take a
frag
look.
Just a
mines?
variety in case of boredom.
Well, I've got a variety. That's actually a lot of my problem, Cleo. Let's see here. Frag mines. I would like 4 frag mines, please. And do you have a combat rifle suppressor? Because that would be pretty clutch if I could get it earlier than level 39, although there are a number of the suppressors and silencers that actually by design for the game do not spawn in vendor inventories. Now, what about, let's see, yeah, this Devastator stuff is awfully expensive and not really relevant to my character. Not tempting. What about a bit more 50 caliber ammo? Not gonna get a ton just because again, as soon as I find a suppressor for the combat rifle, the pipe rifle's gone, in which case any 50 caliber ammo that I had is wasted. And we're going to sell the extra jet that we had in that last Tato, and there we go. So, you have any? No, you don't have any junk that's relevant. So, thank you very much, Cleo. Let's go. Actually, I did notice that for some reason my miscellaneous quest still says to clear out the Goodneighbor warehouses, and I'm wondering why that should be. There's no quest markers anymore, but I am going to poke my nose into these warehouses and just see if we have any more triggermen. Hancock, my friends.
You find out what's happening at Pikmin Gallery?
It was pretty bad.
God, it was awful. Pikmin was a serial killer, and he was using...
Oh, seriously? That's messed up, even for this town.
I like that Hancock can still be
Good work.
shocked.
You ended up in the abyss, but you crawled back in one piece.
I mean, nobody has to avoid the place anymore. Oh shoot, I forgot to put on my experience hat. Oh well. Hancock, nobody has to avoid that place. I took care of Pikmin.
Mayor Hancock.
Go ahead. Hey.
Anything else we can say? Nope. Looks like we have exhausted our dialogue with the mayor, at least until after... At least until after we do the big dig. So, let's see, is there anything else that we need to be doing in Goodneighbor right now? Boy, this quest log is bloated. Give me a minute to look through this thing. Well, I think we're done with Goodneighbor, at least for the immediate future. I've gone ahead and rented a room here at the Hotel Rexford, got myself the well-rested perk, and dropped a save. And boy, most of the quests here were a bust, which is unfortunate but not unexpected. However, the good news is that McCready has spoken to us and given us a history of his sick child and the fact that there might be a cure at West Tech. And although I am not sure I'm going to be able to complete this quest, I think that it is appropriate, if there is a cure, if McCready will pick it up, that is not going to count, right? Like, that is him picking something up for his sick child. And so we'll see. Is it also because I want his perk, which is an increase to headshot chances? Yeah, that too. It's a powerful perk, and I've been traveling with this guy for a long time, hoping to be able to unlock it. So that is going to be our next destination, and we have a lot of dangerous territory to cover between here and there. However, we are going to be passing by some other spots. We're going to pass by Cabot House, and I'm going to resist the temptation to stick my head in there because I know that they're going to give me a fetch quest for some serum, and I'm just not going to be able to complete that. So other than some experience points for some speech checks maybe, and the experience from discovering the location, we're not going to get much out of that. We're going to pass by Bunker Hill, and I would like to get the settlement item unlocked that will allow caravans to visit my settlements, but it is not as much of a priority as getting our hands on the perk that McCready has. So yeah, we're gonna just basically follow this big highway up here and get ourselves over to Taffington Boathouse, and we'll kick off our expedition to MedTech from Taffington. Well, folks, good news and bad news. Good news is that I have managed to make it to Taffington Boathouse. Took me a couple tries. It is dangerous territory between Goodneighbor and here. And we've gone ahead and picked our crops. We have gone ahead and assigned a bunch of settlers to scavenging stations because we're not going to be this way very often, so I'd rather have them putting junk into inventory than anything else. And we've got ourselves well rested. We even have a perk that we're going to take here in a second. Bad news is that Outpost Zamonja suffered damage in an attack, and that is the only reason I can think of for why my fertilizer has suddenly dropped from around 100 to under 60. That is a shame. So we're probably going to stop slinging jet for a while, and we are going to hope that we run into Kelly the ramen vendor. We have not got a Brahmin for this settlement yet. Still, all things considered, things are not so bad. We've got McCready's companion quest to go complete, and it is right around the corner. But before we do that, I think that I should take a perk. And I've looked around, and of the perks that I am, trying to pick up on purpose, the next one that is available, the only one that's available, is Rifleman. I could potentially take another rank of Perception or Endurance, but we're going to prioritize getting our perks that we've got so far filled up before anything else. So, Rifleman it is. Another 20% damage, another 5% target armor, and a chance to cripple a limb. Not too shabby. And are we on the right road to get to... Yes, we need to take a right at the next intersection, and then we will just follow that to MedTech. If you've never played on survival mode, one of the things that I notice when I play on survival mode is that I get a lot better at navigating by road, since I'm not able to fast travel to anything, and because traveling cross country can be dangerous, it is helpful to know how to get to where you want to go by road. And I end up memorizing a lot of routes. And we got a sneak attack on that guy, but it did not do very much. Oh boy, we might not be ready for this. Let's try switching over to Old Faithful. And see if we can't one-shot this guy. And maybe we can get a shot on the arm for that guy. There we go. Okay, so we're doing okay so far. He's got a stick, so killing him at range is good. And is that everybody? Okay. It's just so nerve-wracking being in a situation where pretty much one shot kills me and I have been discovered, right? Like what just happened there. And there are still live super mutants around here. Let's see if we can... Oh, we missed him. Doggone it. Let's switch over to the combat rifle, because we can get some more shots with this than we can with anything else, and our sneak is broken. Okay. I was not expecting any more super mutants. It's clearly we need to be a little more careful. So that is Medford Memorial Hospital, but we're actually looking to go just a little bit further down the road, I think, over here to MedTech. Yes, we have a ways to go just yet. And I think I just saw Ghoul over here. No, it is a synth. We have encountered just a few synths, and so far we're able to take them out with sneak attacks, but their armor and their health is going to start improving. But we can...
I am equipped.
Here's the other one. I knew that we were going to get him to poke his head out eventually. Strider. Okay, good thing he's not wearing any armor. Alright. Now, let's just see if we can get to MedTech without any further incidents. I tell you, every time there's a light on, I find myself needing to explore, even though there's really no point to it. And look comes Joe HQ. Well, I'm not sure what quest is related to that. I think there is one, but I don't have anything on my quest log right now that relates to that, I don't think. So we're just going to move on. We did just gain a level. Let's see if anything jumps out at us. Oh, I see something that jumps out at me. Another rank of ninja. Yes, ninja is great, and we have now Topped out ninja. Wish I could get even more ranks because it is just that good. So I'm going to be interested to see when I get a sniper rifle with a silencer what my sneak attack multiplier is going to be. It's just, well, he picked a bad time. Well, good time for him, bad time for me to squat down. Come on, buddy, just hold still for a second. 4x, nice. And I have encountered this guy before, actually. He has been wandering all over the Commonwealth looking for Bunker Hill, and buddy, you must have passed it at least twice. It's a random encounter where you come across an escaped synth and he asks you if you know where Bunker Hill is. However, this time I can actually tell him that yes I do. Assuming I survive these ghouls. And we're out of action points. Let's switch over to the pistol so that we can get some more shots on these guys. In fact, I think I am going to spend a critical headshot. Kind of hate to do it, but I'd rather do that than get killed. We'll immediately start trying to grind our critical back up again because I have a feeling we might need one or two inside of medtech.
Let's head inside.
Buddy, I can tell you where.
Man, would you happen to know the way to Bunker Hill?
I do know the way to Bunker Hill.
I do. It's over this way.
Your assistance is appreciated.
Of course, Mary has no idea that guy is an escaped synth, but I don't know what Mary's feelings about synths are going to be. She is ambivalent about Codsworth as far as whether or not he is a person or not, and whether or not the artificial intelligence looks human, I think should be immaterial to deciding whether or not it needs to be treated as a sentient being and therefore worthy of rights.
All right.
That, I suppose, is a philosophical discussion. Yeah, that discussion is for another time, and so is the rest of this dungeon. I feel like we've done enough for today. We're going to call it a part. So next time, we're going to find out if MacCready is willing to pick up the cure and save his son, or will his son die a terrible death and Mary will be bereft of MacCready's companion perk for the rest of the game. I'm interested to find out. I hope you are too. If you are, that means maybe you liked this episode. If you did, please hit the like button. If you didn't like, please tell me why in a comment so I can try and do better for you next time. And until next time, my name is Nacho Bidness, and I'm saying it's a great big wasteland out there. Let's go have fun in it.